we are right now updating our back-to-school plan that we did present in the beginning of June. Following to the new recommendations from the public health authorities, the government has made adjustment to its back-to-school plan in order to guarantee the best possible learning conditions for students through Quebec in an environment that is safe for them and for the school staff, of course. Wearing face covering will be mandatory for all students in elementary 5 and higher levels, including secondary school, vocational training and adult general education students, as well as for all members of school staff when circulating within the school and in the school transportation and public transit. But wearing face covering will not be mandatory within classroom. It's important to say so. It won't be mandatory in rooms used as cafeteria while students or staff are eating and drinking, of course. Public health authorities are no longer requiring classes to be divided into subgroups of 6 or fewer students. The bubble concept has been enlarged to include the entire class, which will remain stable in order to minimize any potential transmission.
Why aren't face coverings required in class? Because we hear so often for adults everywhere we go to wear a face mask.
But in fact, it's related to the risk of complication. You know, adults are going to expose probably elderly people and are going to be very sick and everything. You know, being all the day with a mask, we are asking adults when they go out, when they go to close places where they cannot respect the distanciation of 2 meters. We are not asking, unless you work on a restaurant or almost, to people to have all the day the mask. It's difficult. So for kids, we think that if we have organized the school in a different way, with classes are going to be close, not mixing up with others too much, they will wear the mask when they're going to have to mix it up in the cafeteria or in the corridors, but they won't have to take it all the day when they're going to be sitting in their class. It's you know, wearing a mask all the day is difficult for an adult, so imagine for kids.
Simon Akineshny, CBC News. The number of cases has just finally started to become stable. In your press release, Dr. Arruda, you called it a fragile equilibrium. Monsieur Roberge, why put all of that at risk by sending thousands and thousands of kids into schools in the same classrooms for hours on end? Why is it so important that kids go to physical schools right now when the pandemic is finally starting to go down here in the province?
Well, the information that we have about the COVID-19 pandemic reassure us that kids most of the time don't get sick, don't have this COVID sickness, and don't spread it. And we are really aware for the risk for not open the school. Not open the school is putting our kid at risk. We have some problem with mental health, with learning disabilities. So I think the higher risk is not to reopen our schools.